Hey guys, I'm gonna wait a tiny bit just for a couple people here before we start. As much as I love, at least when I'm streaming gaming, I don't care how many people I'm streaming to here, but I think this is important to have some people see. So, hey, what's up? Well, it just came out like an hour ago, and I thought this is something interesting. No, it's literally just me. I saw it an hour ago, and I don't want to watch it with some people. Man, shut your ass up. You don't have to watch if you don't want to, but I'm gonna stream it. This one's a shorter video, which is nice. It's only 30 minutes. I think I watched a tiny bit in the beginning. It's just one alligator because apparently there's a lot of sexual assault, and he's still getting all the shit together. So he released just one, and it looked interesting. I watched a tiny bit, but I want to go into this blind with some people. So why the fuck not? No need to moderate if you don't want. You can leave. I don't really care. I'm just gonna do this for the next 30 minutes, and then I'll switch the stream over to gaming. Might see if Valorant's working better. And I'll run that with you if you're down in 30 minutes once this video's over. Alright. I know you can always watch this back later, so let's dive into this and see how bad this is. I've already seen the previous two Dogpack videos, which if this gets some attention, I might make some more on that. But I've been trying my best to avoid this, but I've been watching it my own time. But this is interesting. Goes against my normal content, but who gives a shit? I'm interested.
Okay, so this video is going to focus around one instance of SA. I wanted to put all the SA allegations into one video, part 3, final video until Jimmy responds at least. I sort of overestimated how easy that would be as far as like getting everything approved with victims and lawyers and like also traditional media is involved. They've been DMing me, New York Times, Time Magazine, also like documentary people. I don't know. You're like, hey, I've worked with Netflix and Hulu and Apple TV and Peacock. Are you interested?
Yeah, so I already saw this part, so that's what I was talking about earlier, where you only knew a little bit. But I love his sense of comedy in this, actually. I don't really think it takes away from the allegations, though. It just makes it a lot more enjoyable.
And I'm like, I don't know, but I think people should go to those more legitimate sources to get their stories out. So I've been referring people to other people because traditional has, more resources than I do
That's
and better
interesting.
legal protections than I do for
Let me
sure.
see.
I do have
That's
sort of that bigger project, the original part 3, and I have a lot of other interviews and other allegations that I'm working on putting together. So I have something for.
let me see here. Oh yeah, the New York Times is covering this. Just curious about that. Oh, far to sign in. No, I ain't doing that. Just scroll down there. Let's see though. Respect. So that one's about Beast Games. Let me see if it mentions Dogpack specifically, if that's still unreleased. Dogpack 404. New York Times. Yeah, I can bring it across so you guys can see it here. No, I'm not seeing anything. I did see stuff regarding Mr. Beast, but in there. Not yet, anyways. But then again, he just said they were talking to them, so.
When Mr. Beast responds, if his response is bad, then
Play Val, I want to make fun of your gameplay. Yeah, I'll do that in 30 minutes since this is over. You can make fun of my gameplay all you want. Hopefully the goddamn lag is gone. So I was having this issue earlier when I was playing Valorant where I just get insane lag spikes and my ping would like peak 2000 and it was fucking crazy. It was like unplayable, but it might be better. But finish this video up first.
I can sort of point out, hey, he lied here and he deflected and straw man argument or whatever, as well as like dropping new allegations and doing it in an opportune way so that they get the most eyeballs But yeah, I just wanted to say this is just around sort of one allegation. Also, everything in this video is allegedly. This video is not monetized. It's for educational purposes only. This is matters of public interest.
Yeah.
I'll put a full disclaimer on the screen.
What is this? This video is for educate. Yeah, okay. Please do not. It's meant to be brandishing. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Don't hate or harass.
Yeah, here's the video.
Yeah, let's get
Okay,
into
today
it.
I'm going to be covering Mr. Beast's secret CEO, James
Oh, shit,
Warren.
he's got a whole ass board here. Hold up. Bring it a tiny bit.
But yeah, here's the video.
Right.
Okay,
There.
today I'm going to be covering Mr.
Right. Oh, dude. Oh, it's iTunes. There we go. I can go for it now. Tiny bit.
And then I want to touch
Oh my
on
God.
the man himself.
That's such a horrendous image. Why would he ever post something like this? I know it's probably for his gains and stuff, but yikes.
Jimmy Donaldson. Mr. Beast has very publicly and transparently been engaging in a massive
Oh, I haven't seen these yet, but I've been wanting to watch some from Emperor Shalom.
cover up, deleting a lot of evidence, and I think a
That's
lot of this
interesting.
cover up is going sort of completely under the radar. We're not even aware.
Yeah, I've noticed actually, aside from like the deleting comments one on those videos, which is we actually I was there with how do you pronounce that YouTuber's name? Quincy? No, not Quincy. That's from BTD. But Quincy or something. Well, let me see how I pronounce that guy's name. He was doing a live stream like the moderation when he posted his new videos. It was like Quinn. Beast moderation. Maybe he has it here. Yeah, Quinthio. Yeah, so here, oh, right there. Yeah. So he had a video called Mr. Beast is moderating all the comments, originating all Quinthio. And I was chilling with him in the live stream. And he found like a loophole around it where like if you put it, I forget what they're called, but like you write it vertically using the first letter of each word. So we put like for like fake or something like fantastic, amazing, and so on and so on. It's spelled like fake with the first letter or something. Very fun. On his videos to try and get around the moderation, which is interesting. But that cover up was crazy. It's like people put like 2 million comments, yet only like a few thousand were showing. It was crazy. But this is interesting. Yeah, we could watch those at some point as well.
Of what's being swept under the rug, and they're getting away with hiding and deleting evidence. After I called out James Warren by name in my last video, his Instagram and Facebook got taken down, and his LinkedIn got taken down.
Yeah, that's shady
so
as
quick
hell.
profile on James Warren. He's Jimmy's cousin and secret CEO, and I say secret because you know they're not very open about that fact. Like he doesn't post about it on social media. It wasn't ever attached to his LinkedIn. He's never featured or really referenced anywhere. I heard that he's very aggressive.
It's really interesting how like he's one of the most prestigious positions in Beast's industry, or whatever you call his company, but he won't even mention it at all. But I'm assuming this is probably why it says James Warren's a psychopath and screams at people and hits his girlfriend. Yeah, maybe that's why he works for Mr. Beast, but he won't. Mr. Beast won't let him associate with him. I guess I'm not
I've
sure.
heard him referred to as a psychopath who screams at people and hits his
Yeah,
girlfriends.
it's-
There's allegedly
Well, let's read these real quick. We can't really see that one up very well, but like, here we can read this one. I used to sleep on a mattress in his extra bedroom when he first moved into the house, says Reed Dorsher, Donaldson's manager. Former sports agent, Dushner, already represented some influencers, but was impressed by the young YouTuber's attention to his analytics. Okay, so he was sending me screenshots of his average view duration, his click-through rate, he says. Donaldson asked him to come and stay so they could get to know each other. Another house guest was his cousin, James Warren. So this guy, now his CEO. His mom worked for him since 2017, and his role seems similar to the job as Jim Warren in a military prison. And what? Seems to be similar to her job as a warden at a military prison in Germany. Keeping an eye on things. I don't have to. I don't have to access any of my bank accounts as Dawson. I have a CFO and everything. It's not super
domestic
incriminating.
violence charges that were filed against him.
That's
And I say
bad, though.
allegedly because it turns out there's a lot of people in North Carolina named James Warren who assault their girlfriends, I guess. So
That's some
I'm still having people
curiosity.
look into these cases.
me see that.
Specifically, that surprise witness on YouTube. She's been super helpful in like behind the scenes, just
Local
submitting
Electric
freedom of
State of North
information requests
Carolina.
and just helping me out a lot in general. She's super nice, super smart. She'll be posting a lot of updates on her channel. As
Let's see here. James Warden. Oh, let me get an essay case and specify that. Oh, yeah. There are a few. I see what he means. All right.
as she has been about the Mr. Beast situation.
Mr. Beast's video caused a military operation.
James Warren also
Wait, what?
situation.
Mr. Beast's
Baker rescued. Jesus.
video
That's not good. I'm assuming if somebody got lost and needed a rescue, but goddamn.
caused a military operation.
broken
James
bone.
Warren also allegedly an ex-drug addict. I've heard that he offered cocaine and hookers to editors to stay late, and then the
Jesus. If you don't edit enough. Oh my gosh. If you stay late and edit, I'm not gonna pay you overtime. I'll pay you in coke and hooker. So funny. You think you could just offer them like extra overtime pay? Like maybe their wage is higher for overtime or something. And instead you offer them coke and hookers.
the really big thing is that there was some incident between him and a female colleague that resulted in the female colleague leaving the company and receiving
Yeesh.
3 years in severance pay. I'm still actively looking into this incident, so if you have information, let me know. But I've heard from multiple credible sources that
That's
this
not
is
good.
true and this did happen. Also, I should quickly clarify that a lot of this investigation is allegedly. It's sort of the
everything outside the court documents are legit. Yeah. I agree with that whole innocent to proven guilty, but holy shit, there was a lot of proof, man. But again, we gotta wait for his response, which is seemingly never gonna come out. It's been like a month of this bullshit, but honestly, yeah. Hopefully, he comes up with a response because at this point, the evidence is like there's so much, like it's crazy. Like with starting with the Ava Chris Tyson shit, then we got Beast Games, all the shit about him faking, the lottery, all that crap is yikes. I mean, certainly there's a line between innocent until proven guilty, and there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that if you're not going to respond to it, that's almost an admission of guilt. It's been a month and he said nothing. Like, you can't just be like Sunny V2 and ignore it and have this blow over. It's not going to happen.
nature of these instances. I have a lot of testimony, corroborating testimony. But the reason I'm publishing this is that hopefully it brings more information to light. Like after the Jake Weddle interview got posted, which was all mostly testimony, people came out corroborating a story, and then ultimately Jimmy ended up apologizing and offering him $190,000, which to me I think is most likely an admission of guilt. You don't.
Honestly, yeah, true. You wouldn't apologize for something if it didn't fucking happen. That really, if you're gonna apologize to Jake Weddle, you can't really now go and say you didn't do it because you fucking apologized for doing it. Yeah, at this point, it's almost this innocent to proven guilty thing is like it's hard to say. Like, there's a huge amount of evidence, but a lot of it's allegation and hearsay. But still, we're getting close to proving guilty. And again, he's not responding, which is another big thing.
Apologize for things that you didn't do. So anyway, I just want to get that out of the way. But what's not allegedly is that James Warren is the former COO of acquisitions of a real estate investment firm called Greenstone Ventures LLC, which is one of the businesses listed in this indictment of his former business partner, Joshua Hutchins, who was sentenced to 10 years in prison for running a real estate Ponzi scheme.
Ponzi schemes are great up until they just go bust.
So before working at Mr. Beast, James Warren was involved in a literal fraud. In fact, he's actually mentioned in the
Yes.
court
Yo,
transcripts
he's in the court
of
documents?
this case. This is the sentence hearing for Joshua Hutchins.
Okay,
I'm going to
yeah.
highlight testimony from just one of these victims, a retirement age woman named Sylvia. She testifies, I came to
see.
know Mr. Hutchins through a very reputable and successful real estate attorney who highly recommended Mr. Hutchins and who eventually left his agency to become the
Yeah, so here Mr. Hutchins is, he's the one who got put into jail for 10 years for fraud, and then I'm assuming what's this guy, the Warren dude, is the one who
chief operating
was like
officer
his
of
co-person
Mr. Hutchins'
guy.
investment firm. The chief operating officer of Mr. Hutchins' investment firm. She explains that the reason she trusted Mr. Hutchins was through the strong recommendation and endorsement from that very reputable and successful real estate agent. He represented Mr. Hutchins as highly competent and capable. He presented a successful track record and how Mr. Hutchins
Yeah,
had
so he's
delivered
helping
for
his
other
friend get, especially scam people, he's providing advertisement for the scam, I guess.
their investments. On the next page, page 16, she testifies, my trust was and has been severely violated. This is the equivalent of financial rape. Many of us
I mean, that's how you know it's bad. Financial, right? Actually, I probably can't say that. Whatever. It's right there. It's fine. It's on a YouTube video. It's not like I need monetization. Yeesh. I mean, that's how you know fraud is bad. Oh, I saw that as well as fucking what's his nuts. Jake Paul's also getting sued for his dumb fraud thing eventually. I haven't seen the video yet, but I saw it on my homepage, the Legally Go On. That'll be interesting as well, but yikes. So, you know the scam's bad when the fucking person in court testifying calls it financial rape. Alright, let's continue.
entrusted Mr. Hutchins, who we've come to know to be fraudulent. Just $1.3+ million of worthless
Yep.
paper signed by him fraudulently.
Yeah, and right, this is this girl, this old lady's retirement money as well that she wanted to invest in real estate. Yeah, that's financial rape, all right.
Misrepresented in the courts. So Hutchins was convicted for soliciting investment monies by telling victims that their money would be put to work on a specific property. In fact, Hutchins did not put all the investor funds to work on the property on which the investor was solicited to invest, and instead regularly used investor funds on other properties or personal expenses.
Yeah, so that's just blatant fraud. He's just taking their money to use it for his own personal gain.
And personal expenses, well, apparently he bought an AR-15 and
Hold up. When Mr. Hutchins was arrested on May 18, 2020, the government said that they found a Ruger AR-15 in multiple mags and more than 100 rounds of ammunition in his possession. If you're gonna get hit fraud, I guess you gotta buy a gun to protect yourself from the cops. I mean, Jesus.
hundreds of rounds of ammunition. His wife had a domestic
I mean, if that's not America, I don't know what is.
violence order of protection against him. He's accused
Wait,
of
what?
calling
Whoa. His wife?
ammunition. His wife
What does this say?
had a domestic
Right there. A judge later granted his wife a year-long domestic violence order of protection. In the indictment states. Yikes. That's not looking good for this guy.
violence order of protection against him. He's accused of calling his wife a lying rat and sending menacing photos of himself in tactical gear in the woods to her friends and family.
Dude. No way this dude is setting up a proper like camera to get photos of him in tactical gear in the fucking woods. It's funny. Dude lock in like dude like locks his gun. Better not say nothing. He's in the fucking woods and tactically. That's hilarious. I mean, if you're a closeted homosexual, just say it, man.
Again, according to Sylvia's testimony, James Warren represented Mr. Hutchins as highly competent and capable. She continues on page 17. James Warren, the then realtor who recommended
Oh shit, so they call him by names on here. James Warren, the realtor. Oh shit, yeah.
me to Hutchins, also encouraged us to work with Mr. Hutchins on trying to make it work. And we did until it became very evident as to his apparent intent of complete fraud. So James
Oh, so yeah, he was like trying to say like, no, you're not being fraud. You're just like he's trying to cover for his friend here. in fraud. I mean, oh, that's incriminating.
James appearing to sort of try to mediate this exchange, saying, "Hey, give him a chance. Don't
Yeah,
pursue him. Don't
that's
sue him. Just make it work." Right? The real losses
yeesh.
due to fraud are evident. Financially, he's devastated my retirement. I can only
Yeah.
hope and thank the good Lord that I have a brain to be able to function and try to earn back as much as possible. The impact, over $1.3 million in real losses. These are not, I got a piece of property, it was all
Yikes.
fraud. She goes on to describe her financial troubles through the years, supporting her mother who had Alzheimer's disease, how in the crash of 2008 she lost her job and for 2 years was unemployed. In
Yeah, that's kind of
2014, she
unrelated
had a
though.
severe cancer diagnosis,
Ooh,
was out of
damn, that's tough. She's been through a
work
lot.
for over a year. She continues, in spite of all that, I've lived very frugally and tried to make things work.
That's
I've made
good.
him know of all my history and I told him I could not take the risk. He and James Warren, the then realtor, stated, "Oh, real estate." She goes on to describe how they presented it as a safe investment opportunity for her, and then James Warren's business
Oh,
partner
she's
defrauded
manipulating
her
this
of
poor
$1.3
woman.
million. Now, can I claim definitively that James Warren was aware of the fraud that was taking place and willingly complicit in helping Mr. Hutchins defraud old ladies? No. But from what I've heard of James Warren's character, how he's hit ex girlfriends, not let them leave the house, beat his dog, defrauded people in his own ways. Creative Juice is an interesting one.
Whoa, wait, what? Invest up. Mr. Beast working with 2 million to fund and invest in up and coming creators, part of a new company called Creative Juice.
Could be looked into, which was done with Mr. Beast, as well as another scheme that we'll get into that he conducted with LaKoya Hill. I personally believe that when he was working with Mr. Hutchins, he was in similar company. I think the COO of acquisitions would know and be sort of responsible for properties not being properly acquired through the court system.
Yeah, I
Again, that's my
fucking think
opinion. That's
so.
all allegedly. Now, on to his alleged best friend, LaKoya Hill. They both went to
This is
UNC Chapel
interesting.
Hill together, and they both, after graduating, got into real estate. But by 2017, LaKoya Hill was running an adult entertainment event business in San Francisco called LaKoya Hill Entertainment. Then in 2019, he was hired to Mr. Beast as a producer.
Our party evolved into this
Fucking
place where, you know, you have the drag queens, the muscle daddies, the bears, the twinks, the like posh boys.
Now, I'm all for personal freedoms. I believe adults should be able to do
That's fine. I love how Dogpack adds a comedy to this.
whatever they want. However, I question what qualified the sort of go-go dance drag daddy of San Francisco for a job producing YouTube content for children. You know, it'd also be weird if Mr. Beast hired Johnny Sins as the janitor, I guess. That's not the real issue, though. The issue is that in late 2021, he was allegedly fired for sexually assaulting his assistant. Now, I put fired in
Yikes.
quotation marks because he was actually quietly moved to the dubbing company, which was Unilingo at the time. Here is proof that he used the LaKoya at unilingo.tv email, links back to him, links to these photos, one of which was the profile picture for his YouTube channel, which also after my first video, his YouTube channel mysteriously got deleted. And at some point, his Twitter also got deleted. I don't know if that's when he sexually assaulted his assistant. I don't know if that's after my first video got posted. Either way, Booty Call Wednesdays are canceled. He was actually brought back to Mr. Beast in 2023 after sexually
shit,
assaulting his
really?
assistant prior and promoted to Chief Financial Officer, which is how I personally was introduced to him. Here's some evidence from the internal
Yikes.
Slack channel at Mr. Beast showing LaKoya Hill acting in some COO capacity, saying there's news reporters outside, do not engage with them. This was shortly after the Time magazine article came out. So here I have a document showing testimony from former Mr. Beast employees talking about LaKoya Hill. And when I say verified former Mr. Beast employee, I had them send some form of proof. I know who some of these people are. They just want to remain anonymous, but you know, I'm willing to share this with like an independent third party if it needs to happen. Personally, I don't think Mr. Beast is going to deny sort of this LaKoya Hill story that I'm going to show you.
Well, guys, I'll be back in 1 second. I gotta hang now, and I cannot focus on this video. Although I'm really interested to hear these, just give me like 30 seconds and we'll continue. Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. Let's continue.
For you. But here's the first testimony, and I'll say this person is especially credible in my opinion. I asked them, did you see or hear of any sexual misconduct at the company?
Yeah, I understand you want to keep him anonymous because that could go bad. You get wrapped up in a court and shit. I mean, they might anyways. If this becomes a court thing, though, they'll have to, but still, it's probably, I understand want to keep them anonymous, but that's good. That he did, like, some verification before.
They say, yes, LaQuia Hill, the current COO. In 2021, he had an assistant named victim's name. I heard LaQuia acted very inappropriately with victim, booking hotel rooms with only one bed, walking around in his underwear, having victim come to his house and showing him his sex toy collection. Just in general, LaQuia made victim uncomfortable. Victim started complaining to higher-ups, and a report got written. LaQuia was put on paid leave for like a month. Then Mr. Beast moved him to the dubbing company, and he was hired back in 2023 and was
He got rehired? Ooh.
promoted to COO,
And then was,
even though
instantly
Jimmy,
promoted.
James, and Sue 100% know his history. Also, I heard that when victim was let go, he was given $30,000 in severance.
Oh, the victim was a dude. That's interesting. Like, so.
I could get you victim's number. I don't know if he'd talk. I respond, yeah, that'd be great. Also, is there proof he moved to the dubbing company? I could look. It was the original dubbing company called Unilingo. Mr. Beast practically forced them to hire LaQuia, and then they poached Unilingo's employees and copied their whole business and created Creator Global. Verified employee number 2. Asked them the same question, have you heard of any sexual misconduct at the company? They say yes. I don't know how to spell the name, but LaQuia, something like that. He was brought in last year after having not worked there for a year or so at a very high level. I respond, LaQuia Hill. They say the reason he had been asked to leave previously is that he had sexually harassed someone that still worked at the company when he was brought back. Yes, LaQuia Hill. But they brought him back knowing he had sexually harassed an employee previously. And people often talk about LaQuia making them very uncomfortable on shoots. I verified employee number 3. I'm looking into more accusations of sexual misconduct at the company, wondering if there's anything you could corroborate. Have you heard of anything about LaQuia Hill? They respond, the old gay guy who likes to bang 18-year-old straight employees. Yeah, I've heard.
That's one way to talk about him. Yeah, if the victim's a dude, I guess that checks out. So why would you ever rehire this person? I don't care how good friends you are. That is just retarded.
Heard of him. Anything non-consensual to your knowledge? I heard he got in trouble for hooking up with his 18-year-old straight assistant, but the company kept it quiet from what I heard. He's a producer and worked in the adult entertainment before Mr. Beast. Yeah, LaQuia Hill Entertainment. I heard he was fired for sexual harassment, then brought back a year later. That's what I heard too. Employee number 4. Do you know who LaQuia Hill is? Yes. And you're aware of the case that has been covered up for some time. Explain. Essayed multiple people, apparently roofied multiple people as well.
He did. Whoa, that's not good. Essayed and roofied multiple people? Oh boy.
Explain.
There's in a case as well. Okay. That's new.
Essayed multiple people, apparently roofied multiple people as well. Verified employee number 5. I'll also say this person is especially credible, but they worked there a while ago, like 2020, 2021, around then. Okay, a few things. LaQuia sexually assaulted his assistant who was straight and LaQuia was gay. You probably already know that. But James is best friends with him, so holy shit, was that surprising that they kept him around way longer than they should have.
Honestly, slightly unrelated, but I feel bad for the LGBT whatchamacallit community. I call them the Lugbook community. Funny, I saw it was in a what do they call it? Video grade A under A made it about where he's like, I love the Lugbook community and all. But unrelated, I feel bad for them though, because with like the whole Ava Chris Tyson in this now, like it paints a horrible light for like a lot of them are just normal ass good people, but it paints a really bad light to have people like Chris Tyson and this person being an SA, and honestly I feel bad for them. But that's a different topic, but still. It's a shame though that this kid's gay as well as Chris Tyson. It makes him feel bad for that community. Just because of that, like they're getting put down for no reason. Because not all of them are like pedos and rapists and shit.
There were reports of him making the assistant sleep in the same room/bed with him on trips, touching him inappropriately, and dangling his
Yikes.
job in front of him. Employee number 6, did you hear anything about LaQuia Hill? I heard that incident happened. I heard they let him go, and I heard they brought him back and just put him in a different department. And I don't know, but I think he's working there again. Now, recently, Mr. Beast has let LaQuia Hill go. They had this
Okay,
sort
so
of
I'm
leaked
going now.
email where they say, therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president and COO, right? Alluding to the fact that LaQuia Hill is no longer working there. Now,
Okay.
I have been open with Mr. Beast about the fact that I was going to cover LaQuia Hill. This is a single frame in my first video where I reference LaQuia. He's also in my Twitter header. And I've also just told people who work at Mr. Beast that they have to let LaQuia Hill go. So they did what I wanted and let him go, right? Well, just on a whim, I decided to look into the Creator Global LinkedIn, and it had gone private to where everyone just shows up as a LinkedIn member, right? But I saw this, L, LinkedIn member, president of Creator Global. I thought, you know what, that's a little suspicious. So I reached out to one of my connections close to Mr. Beast and I said, hey, can you look into this account for me? Because sometimes if you have connections, you can see private LinkedIn accounts. And this is what they saw. LaQuia Hill, listed as the current president at Creator Global. No work history between graduating UNC in May 2001 and becoming the president at Creator Global in 2024. Dude, this is like the 3-cup game where you gotta like keep track of the pets and races as Mr. Beast just moves them between companies.
They just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld, after it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
Because I heard, Mr. Beast or James Warren forced Unilingo to hire LaQuia as sort of part of their partnership without, sending them the report on his alleged sexual misconduct at the company. I also have a voice memo from James Warren showing that they told Unilingo to process a $28,000 bonus for LaQuia, which there's definitely something suspicious going on with that.
Hey buddy, it's James. Sorry to be bothering you. I've done my absolute best not to bother you. But LaQuia had presented a bunch of stuff to me and Jimmy a little bit ago. All really great stuff. But he had asked me and Jimmy personally, he's like, hey, can I have a $28,000 bonus for work I did in the past? And I'm like, yeah, of course, man. And the reason for that is I had brought him up to my level, and I don't take bonuses. So for like 2 years, he didn't get any bonuses when our guys were getting like crazy percentage bonuses. I need a favor. Sue cannot process this bonus through Beast. I need a solid. Can you please process a $28K bonus for LaQuia? Let me know. Bye.
And then they used LaQuia to try to steal Unilingo's business, poach their employees, take their clients, and then Mr. Beast launched Creator Global, where LaQuia Hill is currently listed as the president. So that's LaQuia Hill. And that's just what I can put on the record. I will say that if Mr. Beast tries to deny this, more evidence will be brought to light, and more people will definitely come out defending me, saying, hey, this is true. These allegations are true. This is all true. Allegedly, in my opinion, for legal reasons. Okay, now let's move on to the man himself, Jimmy Donaldson. All
Wait, go
true.
back to this
Allegedly,
part.
in my
No, I wanted to read that part you just highlighted.
defending me, saying, hey,
Yes,
this
we
is true. These allegations are true. This is
I know we already did read that part.
all true. Allegedly, in my opinion, for legal reasons. Okay, now let's move on to the man himself, Jimmy Donaldson. First, I'll show this testimony from another former Mr. Beast employee just to show sort of the work culture, especially from a female's perspective. She says, on my very first day, I was told to avoid being alone in a room with certain people in positions of power. At least once a week, I was subjugated to inappropriate questions and conversations. Once a
Wait, hold on. Who is this exactly? That is the strong intro. I was told not to be alone with people. I like zoned out for a second.
opinion for legal reasons. Okay, now let's move on to the man himself, Jimmy Donaldson. First,
Okay.
I'll show this testimony from another former Mr. Beast employee just to show sort of the work culture,
Okay, so just find work culture and shit around there.
especially from a female's perspective. She says, on my very first
female, okay, so that's good to know. So.
day, I was told to avoid being alone in a room with certain people in positions of power.
Yeah, that is like immediately red flag. That's when you turn around, you walk out and say, I ain't good, I ain't working here. If you're told to avoid being alone in a room with certain people of power, holy shit, fucking leave. Like, I don't care how much money they're offering you. Your goddamn innocence is not worth that much.
At least once a week, I was subjugated to inappropriate questions and conversations. Once a male coworker asked me what I would do if Jimmy assaulted or harassed me. On another occasion, this same coworker said it wasn't fair that women could just decide a past sexual encounter wasn't consensual. Many of the men I worked with would make assault and jokes on a daily basis. They would scream
God damn. I mean, I enjoy dark humor, but goddamn, like, okay. There's a line, right? Maybe one or two with people, you know, your best friends. You could make something like those kind of jokes, but goddamn, not with somebody you just met, or definitely not in a workspace, right? The only time any of these dark humor jokes would fly is with like your best friend that you've known for a long while, or say you're creating an online
and
space
hit
where it's meant for dark humor specifically, like emphasis on the word humor. But, you know, this shit. But again, these should never happen in a workplace. There should never be fucking rape, assault, and pedophilia jokes, right? Those dark jokes should not be in a work environment ever.
walls when they got upset. The minute any woman leaves a room, they would talk about if/how they would fuck her. I've heard
Holy shit, that's not good. The minute any woman leaves the room, they talk about if/how they would fuck her. Holy shit. Some work environment Jimmy has here. My god.
men comment on female contestants' bodies many times,
my
talk
God,
about if/how they would fuck her. I've heard men comment on female contestants' bodies many times. Not
my
everyone
God.
behaves this way, but no one openly speaks out against it in fear of losing their job. If you complain about any of this, you'll be shamed for being too sensitive or just ignored. You can't take anything to HR either because Jimmy's mom runs it. It's pretty common for people to essentially get paid to leave and stay quiet if they make enough.
Yikes, Jesus. Ginny's mom is running HR. How can you, okay, if you're like a mother, how could you ever be okay with your son doing this? Like, I mean, money corrupts you, but goddamn, surely he's not paying you this much. Like, how could you ever look your child in the eye knowing he's doing this stuff and help him by running his HR department? No matter how much he pays you, how could you ever look your son in the eye and say, I'm proud of what you've done? Where you are, like, essentially, like, your job is hearing complaints about him and paying people off to, you know, not complain about him. It's crazy.
Noise about something. There is no employee handbook, by the way. If you ask for one or what the company's policies are, they just tell you to ask them and they'll let you know if anything is against the rules. But again, there's nothing in writing, which is true. The leaked document is just the production manual, not given to all employees. Here's another testimony.
Okay.
This person will go on the record. This is Jess, who accused Ava Chris Tyson of sexual assault. I think her case has been sort of mostly ignored because she wasn't a minor when it happened. But she was a
that's a
Mr. Beast
shame.
employee, and you can see in her evidence and her communications with the company the clear signs of a cover-up. You can see them like threatening her with legal action and emails and saying like, oh, we're going to have a law firm investigate this. Well, they had one firm do an internal investigation, McGuire Woods LLP, the same law firm that sent me my first cease and desist. But then they hired, I guess, Harvey Weinstein's legal team, allegedly, to re-review everything. So I guess they weren't happy with the results of the first internal investigation. Also, yeah, this new law firm, Quinn Emanuel, Mr. Beast has worked with them previously, allegedly, to internally investigate LaKoya Hill's sexual misconduct. So why don't you make that report public, Jimmy? Anyway, here's Jess's testimony. I only hung out with Jimmy a handful of times, but he definitely was a little more reserved around me because I wasn't a part of his inner circle, or the boys club as it's called. I did hear Jimmy straight up say that the guy making a documentary on him right now has footage of him saying stuff that would absolutely get him canceled. It's just a well-known thing the boys club is misogynistic and looks down on women in the company despite what they might say publicly. Behind closed doors, the women in the company know that the culture is a problem. I have heard multiple stories of Jimmy being directly informed of SA happening at the company and proactively working to keep it.
That's bad. That's probably the most defaming one, is he's been involved in the sexual assault. Yikes. And he's working, yeah, I mean, you know that, obviously. He's working fucking balls to the walls to keep this shit quiet.
Keep it quiet. So Jess directly implicating Jimmy in the SA cover-ups. LaKoya with an 18-year-old straight assistant, so she's one of the people corroborating that story. Ava told Jimmy about a time she was essayed by another talent member on a private jet, and talent members / employees making advances towards contestants was a regular occurrence. The reason all of this was able to
Nice.
happen for so long is because Jimmy is deeply misogynistic and only respects what he considers to be traditional women. He pushed those values into the company when he created it, and it resulted in several SA allegations we know about, and probably a lot more we don't know yet. Which I will say, a lot of the SA allegations are still
Yikes.
not public. Like, man, just fire James Warren and LaQuia Hill. Fire them. Don't just move them around. Or I'm going to start dropping nukes. Anyway, I'm going to move Maddie Spadell away from all this. I just want to touch on this briefly. So Maddie Spadell, who's Mr. Beast's very public ex-girlfriend of 2.5 years, posted this on her Instagram story. She doesn't mention Jimmy by name. It's sort of vague. I think probably either because she's under an NDA or maybe she's just testing the waters to see how people respond before sharing more information. But also, it's like not that vague if you have reading comprehension and can read context clues. She says she spent years being quiet. Not
Wait,
that
did
vague
you
if you have
put
reading
a-
comprehension and can read context clues.
She put a fucking photo of Ludwig over him. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh. Yeah, because he was defending him at first and shit. Oh my god. He put a photo of fucking Ludwig. Oh, that's good.
She says she spent years being quiet, never acknowledging that time in her life. 19 to 21 are formative years, impacted how she saw herself and how she trusted men. Months of therapy. She says how he treats other women will ultimately be how he treats you. So how does Jimmy treat other women?
I don't really get along with women. I don't really get along with women. I don't really get along with women.
Well, women are stupid because they're inferior to men.
That when she and a group of contestants who were menstruating during the event had asked the production staff about getting their underwear more quickly, she had been told that it was not a medical emergency.
You'll never actually respect a woman, but just act like you respect them.
My God. Mr. Beast withheld my birth control. I have ovarian cysts. You can't just stop taking birth control.
I don't really get along with women.
Also in this podcast, Jimmy goes on to talk about his relationship with his current girlfriend, Tia, in very weird ways, in my opinion.
For us now, like an idea of a date is just to like take an IQ test and then study and see if we can get a higher. An idea of a date is just to like take an IQ test. And then she was like, I'm an author. And I was like, fuck yeah, good. She has a hobby. And then I just DM'd her. I was like, oh, so your book. Can I read it? She sent it over, read the whole.
This is fucking hilarious. When she boings without you. Oh my god, I'm fucking dying. This is wonderful. Oh my god. The one girl right here, look at it. Oh, this is great, man. Oh, I love how he does this just to show the absurdity of Mr. Beast's shit. This is lovely.
Whole book, and it was just like acting like it was the greatest book ever. I don't really get along with women.
It's all of our jobs to protect our friends, our moms, our wives, our sisters, our daughters, ourselves from people like that. That's a pretty clear statement, if you ask me. Now, I almost feel like there's been a campaign against Maddie Spadell to discredit her before she's even shared any information. A lot of like clout chaser and gold digger allegations. I'll say this is also from that Rolling Stone article. They referenced the breakup. The reporter says, Maddie Spadell, who's appeared in a handful of videos, those in Mr. Beast's inner circle told me that Spadell had been a positive influence, forcing Donaldson to prioritize work-life balance more. Donaldson did not want to comment on the record about the breakup, citing Spadell's privacy, yet Chris Tyson, says Donaldson's singular focus on work was a major contributing factor. I think that's what he's going to be looking for next. Somebody who can match his obsession with business and money and all that kind of stuff. So not a bad word to be said about Maddie Spadell from Jimmy or the people in his inner circle, which is pretty unusual of an ex-girlfriend. I'll show some of the brain dead media coverage headed by Cuckstar and his news organization Drama Alert. So here's just one of his many posts about Maddie. Thread of every time Mr. Beast's ex-girlfriend allegedly shaded him, downplaying the clout-chasing claims against her. So let's see this extensive thread. One post of a TikTok where she says she was traumatized at 19. Why do you think that's about Jimmy, Keemstar? Allegedly complaining about Mr. Beast fans. This is her most popular TikTok period with over 6.5 million views and was posted last year. And then Drama Alert goes on to give one more example. And that's the end of the thread. So see her most popular TikTok seems to be alluding to her relationship with Mr. Beast. And then she has hundreds of more TikToks where she never even tried to recreate the success of that first TikTok, right? Like if I'm her social media manager, I'm telling her, hey, post about Jimmy Moore. And she obviously knows that if she did that, she would get more views. and yet she doesn't do it. Hundreds of TikToks, about 30 of them are about Taylor Swift, maybe 3 are about her ex-boyfriend of 2.5 years, which for a Swiftie, it's extremely, extremely low to post only 3 times about your ex-boyfriend who's now incredibly famous. So if she was clout chasing, she's doing a horrible job at it. Now, Drama Alert, on the other hand, has posted more times in the past month about Maddie Spadell than Maddie Spadell has ever posted about Mr. Beast.
Dick right. That's fucking hilarious, man.
So I just wanted to address that because I think
My
Mr.
God,
Beast
I
knows
love
Maddie has
this.
nukes against him, and he's trying to discredit her. So let's look at this leaked email. This is from Mr. Beast.
Private email. Do not distribute. Shit, I was wondering how that got here.
Beast says, yesterday Dawson saved 100 billion. Whoa, guys, whoa. Guys, I don't know how that got there.
Well, this
that
is
was the wrong
Dawson.
email. I don't know how that got there. Yeah, so I've actually heard from pretty credible people that this email was not leaked. So, why lie about it? I don't know how that got there.
Right.
Whoa, Beast says,
Important news, confidential. Dog pack 4 2. He sent it to himself. That's funny. Yesterday, Dawson saved 100 children from a burning orphanage. It's important to keep the secret. Do not send this email directly to Keemstar. Also, oh, that's funny.
yesterday Dawson saved 100 billion. Whoa, guys, guys, I don't know how that got there. That was the wrong email. I don't know how that got there. Yeah, so I've actually heard from pretty credible people that this email was not
Dawson.
leaked. So, why lie about it? Devious or deceptive tendencies. Here he is quoted in that Rolling Stone article saying, "I'm great at lying."
Oh, this video is going to be YouTube history again. Yeah, true. This is man. How do you stop getting the top comment, man? Although, shit, I love your shit, man. You know, Ericus, that's a good one as well. I was just curious what the comments are talking about. Remember, Dog Pack is not suing. He's gonna get fucking assassinated, man. Yeah, that's so true. Alright, let's finish the video. I got sidetracked here.
Lying. But I wanted to focus in on this part where they say, therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president and COO, we will be hiring a new chief human resource officer, chief financial officer, interesting, and general counsel, along with other roles to add capacity and competencies to foster a better internal culture as we continue to grow.
And that CFO, Chief Financial Officer, is mentioned earlier as well.
So what's interesting about
doing
this is
shady
that
shit.
the only person named in an initiative to foster a better internal culture is Jeff Hausenbold. But what's ironic about this is that Jeff Hausenbold has been in the news previously for the internal culture that he helped create as managing partner at the SoftBank Vision Fund. Here's New York Post. Nasty executives shaped macho culture at SoftBank Vision Fund. And here's Bloomberg Business Week. SoftBank Vision Fund employees depict a culture of recklessness. It has also been described as an environment of sycophancy and harassment. So seemingly all the problems that people have with Mr. Beast's internal culture. But this Bloomberg article also goes to call Jeff out by name. Jeff Hausenbold collects cars, including a blue Ferrari, and claims to own a 20,000 bottle wine cellar, although he doesn't drink himself. Acquaintances just...
Oh my god, with the laugh! Oh, that's great.
20,000 bottle wine cellar, although he doesn't drink himself. Acquaintance.
To wine the yacht, the fucking house. That is wonderful.
Acquaintances describe him as smart and arrogant and almost entirely lacking in self-awareness. He's also gotten away with some questionable behavior. In a discussion about whether to invest in the stationary bike startup Peloton in 2017, according to 2 people who were in the meeting, Hausenbold opined that its exercise equipment appealed in part to men who masturbated to its workout videos.
Dude, I want to jerk off! Fuck! I want to jerk.
You gotta bring Dantes into this. Oh my god. This is fucking hilarious.
Dude, I want to jerk off! Fuck! I want to jerk off! Look at this!
A SoftBank to
Fucking dying. He got a Dantes clip. Dude, as serious as this is a work of fucking comedy.
denied the claims, but it's an oddly specific thing for 2 people to make up a story about masturbating to workout videos. So yeah, maybe I don't see the vision with hiring this guy.
Oh, let's see what he's masturbating. What's a Peloton workout video look like? Let's see. Peloton workout video. Let's see what he is masturbating to. Oh, we'll just pick the first one. Why not? Alright, that's
Shoulders.
Ew, you're
Take a
fucking
seat,
nasty.
reduce, and pick it up.
Oh, hell no. That is nasty.
Guys, the
Yeah,
new
bro.
president. Also, this is just what I can share right now. I do have more information that I'm trying to get out. Trying to get permission from the victims and everything. Also trying to save some things for when Mr. Beast responds. So anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching.
Cute raccoon. Alright, that was... Oh, that was so funny, but also, like, serious as well. So, more of the story, Jimmy's the devil, Antichrist, whatever you want to say. Oh, we gotta maintain innocent until proven guilty. But goddamn, there's a lot of proof. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream. We're switching over to Valorant. I'm gonna just end this one, start a new one on my, because I'm streaming for my PS5, because we're playing console Valorant. And I'm gonna hook up with my good friend, as you can see in the chat, Crying XD. We're gonna run some Val together. Alright, I'll catch you.